How are you?
I'm doing great. This is an audio test. Go ahead and say something more.
Test test.
Okay.
Hey.
Now we'll see if she heard that. Both of us.
Cool. No delay.
No delay.
Sick.
As we don't know. So
Okay.
we'll go over. Hey, everybody.
Hi.
We are live.
We're live.
This might be a little buggy of a feed for at first. But we're going to get there.
Thank you so much for being patient with us. Tech doing stuff remotely with and working with tech is like crazy complicated, and so shout out to Julio for figuring this all out. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. I think that we're going to be pretty close to on here. Yeah. Hello, viewers. Welcome to episode 2 recap.
Woo woo.
How's it looking, Cassie? Cassie said it looks good. So I might be a little
Sweet.
laggy, and this might just be might be the broadcaster trying to figure it out.
Okay.
So until then, I think we got this going.
It is a beautiful day in Grand Rapids on March 6th.
It's a Saturday afternoon, and we're hanging
Saturday
here.
afternoon.
We just
out here.
premiered episode 2.
Yes. Thank you all for listening. If you haven't listened yet, it is on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Bandscamps.com.
We're on Stitcher too. We just got that cleared on.
What's that?
We're on Stitcher as well.
Stitcher. I don't know what Stitcher is.
It's just another like podcast aggregator thing.
Obviously, I'm not part of that podcast community enough. So
Well,
I
yeah,
have a-
you are.
Yeah.
That's why you gotta just pretend. It's like bands. You gotta pretend like you know the band, right? You don't want to
I
be
know,
too.
right?
You don't want to be too much like
I'm such a bad liar, though.
Yeah. Are you?
I think so.
I guess I've never caught you lying, so I don't.
I
Really
don't
know.
lie a lot.
Yeah, that's probably a really really good thing.
Yeah, I don't have like a poker face at all.
No, poker's
No.
legal now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sure is.
Wait, legal or illegal?
Legal, like online poker is like legal.
Oh, okay.
I should have framed that better. Online poker is legal.
Okay. Is that still a thing? Do people still do that?
Well, it stopped being a thing for a long time, and now it's legal again in Michigan.
Can
yeah.
people like do that with like cryptocurrency?
Probably.
That sounds like high stakes.
Uh-huh. Oh, something just gave me a big. Did you hear that?
Mm-mm.
I got a big warning sign. I wonder what happened here. There we go.
It's like stop talking about online poker.
Huh? Yeah.
I'm about to flag you.
Yeah. Do you think the feds were like, do not?
Zuckerberg's like,
Whatever you
shut
do
it
now.
down immediately.
It's over. Stop talking about this.
Yeah.
So we are here again to talk about a thing we just released on Tuesday. We released episode 2. It was Captain Daddy, Hollywood Makeout. I think we're getting a lot of listeners on this one. We have more listeners than we did on the first episode.
Yeah, we got listeners. We have downloads overseas, apparently.
We're huge in Belgium.
Yeah, we're big Belgian. Belgians are stands for us now.
They like it. They love it.
Yeah, they're band stands.
Yeah, we're getting
Stand
stands.
stand
So
camps.
I want to thank you, Bandstands. We got about 10 viewers right now. It's looking good, and I'm not even on right now. So if I was on, I'd maybe 11.
I'm on right now because I want to watch.
It's
the
just 10
chat.
of us. Yeah. I think we got to get like a producer or something so I don't get so bogged down here because I want to be on the chat too, but I think it's gonna make my computer slow. But I think I might just go.
I'm on my phone right now. Looking. At
Yeah, I'm like plugged in. I've got good internet, but I want to see the chat. So,
Mhm.
listeners, go ahead and hit us in the chat. Maybe Dan, you can just watch the chat for us.
Yeah, I'm
and
keeping
let us
an eye
know.
on it
Okay,
right
sounds
now.
good. So I'll just focus on production.
it. Sweet.
Episode 2. This was
Episode 2,
actually a really fun one, I think, to do.
Yes, I was really looking forward to this one when we decided to do these 2 records. I thought it was a really good pairing.
It was.
And that's like something that we try to like focus on episodes is like, trying to find the relationship between what seems to be 2 completely opposite records.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the opposite nature of these records have been, we actually put them in a spreadsheet, and I just hit random, and it was like, okay, randomize, and then we got paired up in some really unique ways, and we know both of these artists, and so it was good to like, okay, for our first ones, we're trying to like kind of build trust, and I think that's going to be something that's going to come back to us over and over again about as critics. Is that we're trying to be careful about this. We're trying to be sensitive, and not just like sensitive like with our senses, but also like with feelings.
Yeah, it's
I
It
think,
is
and
hard to find that
we're gonna get there
line.
and miss it. I miss the mark. I think sometimes too.
Yeah, like it's we're literally walking on like some kind of like a tightrope or a slack line kind of thing, and
Definitely.
it's really difficult to find that balance, to be like bluntly metaphorical.
Is there anything off the top of your head that you want to talk about, like just right away about what we're doing before we get into like specifics about this records?
Yeah, I do actually.
Let's do it.
I was kind of thinking about this just this morning of just how do I want to put this? That when you're approaching uh reviews and critiques, but you're doing it on like a public platform that is really supposed to be a form of entertainment. I think that is something that I hadn't really considered when we like kind of thought of this idea, and it's something that's kind of continually going through my head. Is my like my job is to like again like listen to these pieces critically and give them the attention they deserve, but also create like interesting content too.
Definitely. And I think that we are kind of on the right track. Hopefully, you
Yeah,
know.
I'm a big like YouTube guy, and like most of the things I watch now are on YouTube. I don't really watch a lot of like TV shows necessarily
Mm-hmm.
anymore, and so I'm very like influenced by the whole like content
This
creator
kind of, and
mentality.
I think this kind of content too is new for people. Like, even though we're like probably think of ourselves as young and our viewers as young, we're like a lot older
Mhm.
than a lot of young people. And I think
Yeah,
that like what we're doing is a little bit foreign of a concept to some people. And I think that we're gonna get a little bit of flack for that. And I think we're already starting to, which is actually good.
yeah,
I've
yeah.
always thought that's good. Something that too that so speaking to entertainment, what's good is there's two of us. You know,
Yeah, it's true. Like it's easy if you're just by yourself. Like you have no feedback unless you ask someone personally,
right?
and then it's so easy to just kind of get lost in your own world and kind of ramble on or whatever. So we have each other kind of like
Mm-hmm. Oh
can
yeah,
check each other.
I get lost in my own world like crazy, and I'm gonna be
Hmm.
overbearing. That's why I know you and I have talked about that, like
Yeah,
about me being worried about being overbearing on you. You know, like being like
right.
if I ever do that, if I'm ever like just being like really overbearing, just let me know. You
I
know.
think you've been like really like conscious about that, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I think it's paying off. So
I'm trying to match our mics. There we go. Um. Okay.
we
I
got a
guess
woo
I guess that's
in the
it.
chat.
Awesome.
Woo.
Yeah. Everyone in the chat, go nuts. Go crazy.
Yeah.
We have some
Roast us if
we
you
actually have
want.
some special guests on today's episode. So
We do.
we have at least one.
At least one.
At least
We have,
one.
yeah.
The nature of this is all been in the air too. So we're in for like just basically a new type of entertainment that Dan and I are trying to do, and it's not new, but it's new for us, and so we're
Hmm.
willing to like accept criticism. I think like the nature of this stuff too is weird because like you guys are gonna get criticism on your art that you submit that maybe you weren't even meant to see, or was is going deeper than you're expecting.
Right. And that's like that was like a really big thing with episode 2 specifically because of the nature of our relationship with the artist and just my personal opinion about the music. I I went into this episode having already heard the albums before we even decided to review
Mm-hmm.
them,
Mm-hmm.
and I really like both of them a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to really make a tough decision to be like, okay, like it's not interesting for me to go on a podcast and be like, this is good the music and these are cool bands.
Mm-hmm.
Like I already do that already.
Yeah, we do it all the time. Everyone, all of us do. Also,
Yeah,
like it's not super helpful to just say like a thing. This is a thing. We kind of talked about that in recap
yeah.
one. Um, we're just trying to do something different. So just explore it in a deeper and more
Hmm.
interesting way, in our opinion. So let's. You want to just roll right into it?
Let's roll right into it.
All right. I listened to everything again today. I listened to the Captain Daddy records, and I listened to the Hollywood Makeout records. And I think that
Hmm.
one thing that I noticed that we ask these questions on every episode, we ask, did they get there?
Hmm.
We ask, what else? There was a couple other things. That was one of the big questions. Did we get there? And I think that we can ask ourselves that question about our own like results or our own review. Did we get there? The first impressions is when we ask a lot. So maybe we can do first
Yes.
impressions on our own, second impressions on these records.
Right.
You know, did we get
And
there? What
just
did we get wrong? What did we fail at? What were we successful at?
right. Or what are people's first impressions of Bandscamps,
Mm-hmm.
the podcast?
Yeah.
You know.
Uh-huh. So like we can all acknowledge that what we're doing anyway is all a little bit self-indulgent on our end, but
100%.
like we're not denying that. Like we're here to talk to each other about music
Hmm.
and like show off our personalities and shit. So listeners, if you're into that, keep listening. If you're not, totally understandable. Let's dive in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna adjust my
Um.
light. This is like driving me crazy. I fucking hate this lighting back here. I don't know what the hell's going on.
This is show business, baby. So yeah. First record that we reviewed for episode 2 was already like a unique choice because it was uh submitted as like 2 separate albums, Sean's Room and Sean's Room 2. And kind of like right away the big discussion of it was why why 2 albums? Are they both 2 albums? Why aren't they one, etc. And so I don't know, Julio.
You kind of jumped into that immediately. You wanted to talk about that right away,
did.
which was like kind of like something that I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And I even the way the episode comes out, it's actually edited a little bit where it's like we kind of went back and I put that beginning into the end just to make them
Good.
cohesive. Man, every podcast wants to just jump ahead, you know.
That's just me, like I get excited, and like yeah, it was just something that I really want to talk about, and it's still something I really want to talk about apparently.
Let's talk about it right now.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Should
Sean,
this have been one record?
I still think it should have been one record.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Like, is there anything else you want to say about it? Like, I don't know. Like, like,
Um,
like, why? I think we started to talk about why. I was wondering if you changed your mind or something.
no, I think it was I think more I'm fascinated by like our call to action saying like please submit your album for review, and then Captain Daddy comes along and he's like, I got you. Here's 2.
Here's 2.
Here's 2 under the similar names, and it was just like already like, all right. I don't know. It was just like an interesting challenge.
Do you think that
already.
he already considers them one thing?
I don't know. I think it was not really thought out, and he was just like, here's some music.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was kind of up to us to like deliver some kind
Just
of
deal with
content
it.
out of that.
Yeah. We couldn't avoid it. We couldn't
Mm-mm.
avoid it. That's pretty clear on the thing, and it's yeah. So we actually have Captain Daddy standing by backstage. He's gonna answer for his sins.
Yeah.
For
It's for
for his musical sins.
yeah.
Yeah.
Should we bring him on right now?
No, let's ask the chat. Anybody in the chat? Let's see. Do I have anything else that I want to add to this? I don't really know if I got anything too wrong. I was really lavish about our praise on it, and listening to it again today, I still really like this record. I still
Me
think
too.
it's really strong.
Sean's Room too.
Let me pull up.
especially.
You know what? One thing we didn't do. We didn't talk about the album artwork at all.
We didn't. I feel like I had to know about that, but we must.
I listened to the whole episode today, and I didn't see it. So I'm gonna pull these up. I've got Sean's Room and Sean's Room 2.
The album art is really cool.
There you go. It's kind of
And
sweet.
you should absolutely judge a book by its cover sometimes.
Can you see that overlay on the? Are you on the stream?
Yep.
That should pop up in a second.
I see it.
Cool. There's Sean's Room 1
Sean's
and
Room
Sean's Room
1.
2.
I don't remember if there's any credits.
Here's a
in
fun
the
here's a fun question for you. What came
Oh.
first, the 2 albums or the artwork? Chat. I want to hear what the chat thinks. Do you think that they made the artwork first?
Hmm.
Things that make you go about this record.
Things that make you go.
That is pretty much what we deal in this podcast is things that
Pretty
make you
much
go,
is yeah.
Well, so let's make these big. So
Yeah.
these are pretty good.
We in the chat they say, "Oh, we have the artist in the chat."
Okay.
and he says the artwork came first.
Artwork came first.
Yeah,
That's a whole different story.
that's great.
Can you see these real big on the screen?
Yeah,
These are
they look
nice.
great.
These are good.
Yeah, these are really sick.
So we didn't
Wow.
really even talk at length about these. I really do like these. I wish this one said Sean's Room too. I don't know, man. We're gonna be scampy about this, I think.
We are gonna be scampy. But shout out to Shane Derby, the artist of Sean's Room
Hell yeah.
artwork. Really great job. I really love the work, man. So
That's really nice.
thank you for hopping on this chat and stream.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool.
I'm just gonna leave these up since we're talking about them. It kind of makes sense, right? Put these
Yeah.
up. Put this over here between the two of us. Viewers, if you are familiar with broadcasters, either Exploit or OBS or anything like that, and you want to help out with our streams, we're looking for a producer to basically facilitate what I'm doing over here, so I can free myself and my brain up to talk more, and not fidget, not fidget so much.
We're open to adding scamps to the scam family.
Yep. We're also looking for people that want to sell ad space or look for sponsorship for us. This is turning into more of a big thing, and we're growing our audience as well. And,
That's right.
We'd love for you to be a part of it.
And we're still accepting artist and music submissions.
We just taped episode 6.
We did.
Right? Yeah. Okay. And it was a hot singles in your area episode.
Hot singles in your area episode. It was probably the most I don't know, it was so not just different in like the type of material that we were reviewing, but just the conversation in general was probably we headbutted the most on this one.
You and I, you think
episode
so?
6, yeah.
Oh, on episode
not headbutted,
6.
but like we just had different opinions, which was really except for the last piece.
We had different opinions in a way that was kind of surprising to me, actually. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, shit. Anything else that we should? So did we get? I think we hit the mark right.
Did we get there with Captain Daddy? Yeah, I think so.
I don't know if anyone's going to dislike this record who doesn't like this kind of music already.
I agree.
And I think we got that right. I said, what did we get wrong? Let's find something. We didn't talk about the artist. The artist who did the
That's
record.
what we got wrong.
And that's a shame. And I'm sorry about that. So apologies there.
Yeah,
we're just gonna leave this up here. I think we're ready to bring on our first guest.
Okay, let's do it.
So Captain Daddy has been backstage, which in like the live stream world is just kind of like hanging out in the Zoom lobby, right?
Mm-hmm.
like, he's trying to figure out his settings. So they bees and gentle thems. This is Captain Daddy joining us. So Captain Daddy, go ahead and just make your video active, make your other thing active, and I'm going to give me a second because I have to I'm on a broadcaster here. Let me know when you're connected. Say hello, and I'm gonna open this up to you.
Go for Daddy.
Okay, here we go. Why don't you go ahead and turn your mic down a little bit? Here we are. All right. Everybody, let me. Yeah. This is gonna be an interesting.
This is a Bandscamps first right here.
This is a Bandscamps first. So everybody, don't mind me while we do this. Captain Daddy, how are you?
Great to be here. I actually just woke up.
You just woke up. This is
In the bath?
This is an interesting choice to snack while on mic.
You look very comfortable.
Thank you. I am. I didn't know I would be brought on mid-chip, so.
Okay. So why don't I give you time to stand on? We want to first and foremost thank you for submitting your record to Bandscamps.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. This is a rare even treat to connect with an artist after reviewing them. Most reviews I think aren't really meant for the artist to respond to, but we're gonna present that opportunity.
I like this model. I like this this format you're doing, letting me, so to speak, answer for my sins. And y'all are not pure as the driven snow either. I've got grievances.
Okay.
Ooh, let's
okay.
go.
So we haven't even figured out a format for this. Here, I'm gonna put everything on the side here. How does that look, Dan? Can you give me a good?
Yeah, that looks good.
Okay. So there's Dan. We got Julio, and let me get more title for Captain Daddy up here. So let's go. I almost don't even want to ask questions off the bat. What do you got to say?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Does it feel unfinished? Yes.
Here, why don't you do me a favor? Turn your mic down a tad bit. Does it feel unfinished? Yes. You're saying it's unfinished?
When I make these songs, I am so in my own head about it, and I just listen to it on repeat, searching for flaws, searching for things I can change or make cooler or better. So eventually I just have to push it out of my head and put it online. And I know track 5 came in really loud. You were right about that.
Okay.
Um,
This is,
So specific.
I know. Well, we were specific,
We
dude.
were,
You
yeah,
know,
we
like
are.
that's fine. We're not. I don't want. We shouldn't laugh. I'm sorry. We just like.
no, it's fine. I knew it once I put it out. I was like, my brain was just so at ease afterwards. So I was
Uh
like,
huh.
I think we can both
eh,
relate to that as artists.
yeah.
I don't think I've ever been 100% happy with anything I've put out.
Yeah, and I know I'm sorry you made you turn your volume down on that one, I guess, when it came up and pulled you out of it, but
It hurt.
that's
It
just
hurt.
what
It hurt. It hurt that you. Let me just say, it hurt that you made me reach out to my stereo system and turn the volume down.
I never want to make you do that.
You should. You never. You never fucking should.
All right, let's hear you rap, Julio.
Okay. Here we go. Ready?
Dang.
Okay. I'll rap. Give me a beat.
Are we on in the same time, or there's no delay for the computers?
Well, I don't know.
Let's try.
The-
There's too much delay.
All right, we tried.
I love when everyone, whenever
What-
asks
what
to
if I was gonna
someone to
keep-
give me
I'm
a
gonna
beat,
keep going,
like
yeah.
it's always just the worst beat.
Oh.
It's
man.
never like, and it's never like an
That's
actual
like-
something
that's
you
like
can
kinda-
actually rap over.
That's like kind of harsh because we're talking to like a literal beat maker here. I feel like so that's not good. All right. Hey, we got a good little layout over here for the 3-person. Okay.
Good.
So
Another thing you got wrong
sure.
regarding, and I'll address the two split into two things shortly.
Thank you.
I re-listened this morning when I woke up. There were lyrics listed for track 1 on Sean's Room 2 on Bandcamp. Not all of them, because I mean, let's hear you try transcribing Raz Nasty. I can't keep up with his flow, but for the first one,
So those are all real rappers. They're all real people.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I was.
That's good
Okay.
to know.
We actually were wondering that privately.
Oh, I only rap one time on this whole project.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
That came up too. Okay. Excellent. Excellent.
That's really good to know.
Let me guess
Yeah.
when
I actually hate rapping.
you hate rapping.
Mhm.
Okay, so your art contribution to this record is the production primarily then, and like writing and stuff.
Yeah, you're more
Yep.
of a Timberland.
Interesting.
Yeah, and wrangling the dudes and
So I
everyone
guess I wonder
involved.
like that leads me to questions with like if I didn't know I didn't know that and we're kind of friends, you know, like the full disclosure. So that's very interesting.
Oh yeah, I like to keep it like sort of mysterious. I like to throw a little filter or two. I like to slightly disguise everything.
Okay.
Mostly it started out of an abundance of caution for like employers and
Sure.
stuff,
Right.
because we get pretty like phallic at points.
Right.
I wonder if like if these days
Subject.
employers are a little more understanding. Like you can
They're like,
actually
yeah,
run-
we're gonna comb through your Facebook, and if you just write down your Bandcamp,
Yeah, it's actually when you go to apply for a job now, it asks you to list your Bandcamp, and you can't not list something.
yeah, they're like, oh, you only have a SoundCloud.
Yeah, that's not gonna work for us.
Yeah.
That's
We'll
funny.
be in touch. Yeah,
We
we'll
can't even
we'll
connect
call
to this
you.
MySpace page. So
Yeah.
okay, so you only rap once. So in reality, you're more like a Santana.
Oh my
You know,
god, Julio, you always know what to. Or I'm sorry, Dan, you always know exactly.
We
what
look
to
exactly. It's
say.
okay. We look and sound exactly like and act exactly like pretty much. It's
yeah,
fine.
you're
And
more like
it's not
Santana.
like it's not like we have our fucking names right.
and then
above,
everyone
right?
else
Right.
on there is
Rob Thomas.
Rob Thomas.
Yeah. So you're more of a Santana.
Okay, that's good to know.
Who's the most Rob Thomas out of all the rappers that rapped on this?
Probably Adam, who goes by Cloth.
Okay.
And he's so great because what we do is I just send him beats and I'm like, hey, anything that you can think of or anything, just give me anything you've got, because I just trust him to take that and run with it. And then he's so easy to collaborate with because he's got his own recording equipment, so it's just like bing bang boom, email me this, I'll email you that. Just seamless workflow with him. Yeah.
Does he have any music available online? Not like
You
work
know,
with
I'm not certain. I know he plays all sorts of music. He's so widely talented. He was in a band. And you guys know about bands.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Adam
He was in
Levine
a
says they don't
band.
exist anymore, but
Well, he was in a band called Come Find the Lion back in the day.
Yes.
Okay, like
Okay.
when I was in
That's
high
a
school.
throwback.
Yeah. So he's got like some metally roots and stuff, and I knew him from
I
middle
got to hear
school,
more
high
about
school.
that band. Come find the lion. Chat. What do you know about Come Find the Lion?
Yeah, throw us some
I don't know
info,
if they're
chat.
online or not. And he does some stuff with this producer in Nashville, Culture, like with a CHER at the end, Culture. They have a song on Spotify called Big Ass Titties, and
Nice.
then one called Banana, which is about
Bananas.
Bananas,
yeah.
like bunches of like bathtub bananas.
Yeah, and the chorus is like
Okay.
Bonana, Bonana, Bonana. It's so funny.
Oh,
That's nice.
bananas. Got it.
Yeah.
How much time do you spend in the bathtub usually? Like in the
Do you want me to
bathtub yourself?
answer realistically or a funny answer?
I want
The
Captain
truth
Daddy's
is,
answer. Who are we talking to?
who answers questions like that?
okay, well, all right. I have a tough
Oh,
time.
I'll do that from now on.
I'm like cosmically floating in between like Tom and Captain Daddy right now. I'm in character, I'm out of character. But this bathtub gets used at least twice a week by me.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And can I tell you a quick little anecdote?
You can. We have no
Please.
schedule. I'm allowed to
Cool.
stream. I think 8 hours at a time. So go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, delicious. I could do this all day. Might have to top off on the hot water in a bit.
You got a Venmo, Captain Daddy? I can put your Venmo up here.
Uh,
I can.
it might be Tom Tom Hunt Hunt or Cash App is Tom 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 with an H in it.
Don't put it on there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't bother. I don't need
You
money.
just
I've
ruined
got
the
look at
opportunity.
I've got it made. I don't need money. I can take a bath twice a week.
I just feel like baths are kind of a sign of not having money for some reason. I don't know what it is.
Maybe it's like the
What is that?
like
I don't
the
know if
barrel
that's
bath
true at
thing.
all. That's
Wow.
it's just like it's a weird classism that I made up. I don't know.
Julio, let me tell you something about class.
Okay.
Oh. Oh my god.
I love it. Ooh,
Wow.
that got in the water, didn't it? Is there water in there? Do you think? I bet there's no water in there.
I bet it's hot tub.
Okay, there we go.
Oh, it's hot
There
tub
we go.
flavored water now.
I was wondering if there was even water in there.
Yeah, dude,
You're a
I'm
chocolate
doing
starfish.
I'm doing method acting to try and recreate the Limp Bizkit album.
I love it. I love that you are like, I'm gonna eat and be in water during this audio segment. Where
This is tricky. I might die today.
you might.
So
Rest
Let's get back to the record, huh?
well, yeah, real quick, my bath story. Okay.
Okay. Sorry. I'm gonna mute my mic so I don't interrupt you.
Okay. I'm taking my one of my weeklies, and my wife came in and she's like, "You're ridiculous." And then she took a picture to capture the vibe because I've got candles going. I've got my little music, my lo-fi going in the background. And she's like, "I've got to take a picture, send it to my girls chat." And she took a picture. And then I was like, wait a minute, I should review that before you send it. And lo and behold, like peeking out beneath the bath tray was like these nuts.
Sean's room and Sean's room too.
Yeah.
I actually love that.
That's the name of the year.
So how many people saw this picture?
None. I caught it. Luckily, I
Okay,
caught it
okay,
before it got
okay.
sent out. I was like,
Okay.
you can take another one. I've got to calibrate and reset my.
He's like, I have to, let me get harder real quick.
Yeah, you don't want to have like giant balls, not hard thing. Do you call it a thing? Do you guys call it a thing? It makes me uncomfortable to call it anything else.
I call it a wiener.
A wiener,
Yeah.
I just say a dick.
dick. I like
Oh.
dick.
Yeah.
Dick's good, wiener's good, and
Yeah.
you've got the cock.
I like cock.
If
If it's get, I don't know.
I feel
get,
like you only say cock when
I
you're
get
having
kind of
sex.
horny, you know. So like that's a word I use for sure.
It's okay to be horny, but
Yeah. Here's speaking. So since we're talking about, I would tell a story. Since this is Bandscamps, here's a band story. We once did a show with a burlesque troupe, and we had me and Dan had a bunch of people within this band, and it was with a burlesque show, and we had a whole set, and one of the rules was like the main dancer like pulled me aside before the show and was like, nobody wants to hear any song about your boner. Or no. What did they say? They said nobody wants to hear about your boner. And then we actually had What's that song
We
on
played My
it?
Pony.
No, we had Pony on our set list,
Yeah.
and we also had Too Close by that one group.
Oh,
That,
that's
the whole
right.
song is literally about that, and we were like, oh shit! But that's like an amazing rule that nobody wants to hear about it.
And we're like, too bad.
Yeah, I mean, is this a bannable offense? I feel like we're halfway there.
That show was super fun.
That was fun.
Was that like the super fun time happy group?
No,
Yeah.
it was no,
Oh.
It was Shimmy Shack.
it was Shimmy Shack Burlesque.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. What else you got on your list, man? Let's go.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I can't edit.
Yeah, I
anything.
did. I did.
We have to move on. That's all.
Also, listener or people in the chat, if you have questions for Captain Daddy, let us know. Leave them in the chat.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, leave in the chat. Don't mind my rambling. Like we're just all chatting about music.
All right. Yeah, roast us, Captain.
Roast it up. I'm gonna check our email too while we're doing this. Go ahead and do it up, and we're gonna respond.
Yeah. So yes, there were lyrics listed for track 1 on Sean's Room 2. To address the splitting of the project down the middle into 2 pieces, and I think you arrived there a few minutes ago when we found out about the art. I did have a lot of the songs ready to go, and I was going crazy trying to arrange the tracks and figuring out how I want to do it, because I'm like, one of these is like really meaningful to me, and like really I think that pretty vibey one, and half of these songs are like comedy penis raps. And then I reached out to Shane because I just love his style. It's just like scritchy scratchy, and that's like what my head feels like all the time. So I was reached out to him to do it, and he sent me a few ideas and options to pick from, and he sent me that second one, that just wild everything's happening on Sean's Room 2 cover. I was like, this is it. So I am gonna split these two up vibe wise, I think was what I was going for. And I also felt, because this whole thing is basically like a retrospective on my anxiety. Like I spent months just looking at it, listening to it, finding flaws, changing it, doing it over again, changing the order, driving everyone around me nuts. And then I lost track.
So,
Anxiety. Yeah.
How long did you work on these songs for? Like what was the total scope of this project as far as length?
I had some like snippets of beats already put together, and then one of the verses or a few of the verses on the like Perp was recorded, but I wasn't gonna do anything with it right away. So then, lockdown happened, and I just started writing more shit and arranging more stuff and sending stuff out and getting back. So it has been a pandemic. It's been spanning the pandemic since last March.
Yeah, like talk more about that. Like, how did the pandemic like affect just like the workflow and the production and maybe the release of the records?
Well, I saw. I mean, you see all this like it's shitty, but it's like free time coming my way, and I was like, I'm gonna absolutely lose it if I don't do anything about this or with this time. I'm gonna feel bad if I just watch TV the whole time. So I kind of
was in that. I was in that same boat too, and I do watch a lot of TV, a ton.
Yeah, but this made me feel not so guilty about that, and I was just able to reflect on things as they happen. Like I wrote that stay-at-home order the day Gretchen Whitmer put out the stay-at-home order, and so it's like a kind of like a almost journally, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Just I've got it in my head, I've got to get it out, so I'm going to do it and then arrange it and share it with other people. And then my squad, who I've been collabing with, they were willing to go along on that with me.
Oh, Rob Thomas, got it.
Yeah,
the Rob Thomases.
The Rob Thomases.
Yeah, the Robs to my Santana.
Do you agree with our assertion it should have been one record, or do you think it still should have been two after hearing us say
when I can see it both ways, and that was a huge struggle. But once I saw those 2 pieces of artwork, like when I do, and I'd like to arrange them and use the lighter songs from the first as like interstitials, I guess, or like in between the harder songs in the second one. I'd love to like get that pressed and like have the front cover be the Sean's one and the back cover be the Sean's Room 2 cover. But I couldn't figure out. I don't think you can do that on Bandcamp. Like, here's the back cover. So
you can you can add photos.
Yeah, I was like, I'll just split it into two 15-minute things. I don't think that's asking too much of anyone rather than sending someone like a 20 track album. And but that came from a place of insecurity too. So I think I might in the future do
We
that.
asked that question, so I don't know, and I don't think that's bad. And honestly,
No.
like admitting that it might be insecurity is actually like not insecure whatsoever either. You
Mm.
know?
I'm aware of it, but that's where
Yeah.
it
Okay. Well,
started.
Okay.
that answers one of our questions, I think, on the whole
That's
record.
great.
Yeah. And it's mostly I wanted to show because the art just totally captures the vibe of each two.
That's really
Um,
cool. I feel like that doesn't happen a lot where the art comes first.
Dan, you can come
oh
up
yeah.
on your vocals a little bit if you want.
And I had most of these finished and split up how I had wanted to, not like arranged in the order that I landed on, but I had the idea. So then when the art came to me, I was like, okay, here's what we're gonna do, and then I just put it where it went.
That's rad.
Yeah, and I'm not. It could have been more polished overall, especially like the mixing and mastering.
Did you do all
After
that yourself? You send it out or anything?
Yeah, I did it on this laptop I'm using here. This is like my wife's laptop from like 2010. It's
I'm on
what
a
I
very similar
yeah.
laptop. So
It's what I do everything on. And I'll update someday. I should upgrade. Um, but also I started, looking into like doing what I can about mastering within like my DAW. Like I use Logic Pro, and so I've been actually learning a lot more about that, just watching videos every day since the episode came out last week.
Nice.
Yeah,
we
or
got some
earlier
questions
this
from the
week.
chat.
Ooh.
You wanna answer some chat questions?
Yeah, lay them on me, please.
We got who/what is Sean/room.
Oh damn. Another
This is a
project.
question that this came up on our
I
show too.
remember.
Mm-hmm.
We did
Yeah.
ask what is like we got to ask, right? What's Sean's room? I don't
Yeah.
think you ever say. If you want to tell us, go ahead. I mean, I don't. You don't have to.
You don't have to.
Sure. Well, I won't get too specific. But during pandemic, I got into a little horticulture. And so I grew a plant and I kept it in a room and I named the plant Sean, and Sean was my little project throughout the pandemic. So I was always like, hey, if anyone needs me, I'll be in Sean's room. That's where I'm vibing. I'm learning about trimming the plant and taking care of everything, balancing nutrients and everything. And also, I know like 6 Seans, so I thought it was funny.
Yeah, you do. You do know a lot of Sean's, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know quite a few too.
Yeah,
Same.
so
It's
it's like
our age group.
which Sean? It was like the what was the Kanye album when he put out Life of Pablo? Then he put out this like
Oh, yeah, what
supplemental
was that
thing. They're like,
called?
which Pablo?
Oh, excuse me.
So I was like thinking, I was like, all my friends would be like, which Sean?
Let's see. We
I
got
love it.
let's see. We got any more comments in the chat. We got
Yeah.
a playing the 2 releases feels like getting to flip a record. I can definitely vibe on that.
Okay, yeah, and I figured like splitting them into 2, it was more worth to me showing off that art than feeling bad about making people like click to the next album at the bottom of the page.
Yeah.
For sure.
Overall, it's not like it's even that bad of a criticism. Like it's such a
No.
minute thing.
Yeah, and I can see it both ways. You guys are right and wrong, and I'm wrong and right. So
I think we were pretty gentle on your release, and I think that we were because I think this music was very new to us. We weren't quite knowing what to expect entirely, and I think that we were very gentle as a result. So
I was
what we got
stressing
wrong
that.
might be that we were not harsh enough on this record. You know, I
Yeah.
think there's
Yeah.
some snare sounds that are too loud. There's a little bit of like the high cymbals that kind of like are like especially on Sean's Room 2 when that opens, that track's a little harsh coming in. Like
Yeah.
that would be a challenge to DJ in a club. And that's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
I think it's just.
And I'm
like
only
a
being harsh with
overall-
you because I think I was too gentle before.
Like,
you know.
yeah, like there's just like a consistency more on like a sonic level kind of thing.
Yeah,
You know,
and
it's
that's
just-
like I learn about that shit as I go.
Same.
Yeah.
I learned how to record too over the pandemic.
Hell
and
yeah.
I'm still learning. You know,
Mhm.
it's tough.
I actually went back last night and listened to all this stuff like I recorded and like on the built-in speaker on this computer in like 2012, and I'm like, I'm better now, and that's okay, and I'm gonna be better than I am right now.
Yeah,
in the future,
you're not
so-
intending to stop making music anytime soon, right?
No, and I've actually I've got like 3 more tunes that I've started on since.
The chat wants us to go hard on you.
Yeah,
They've kind of turned on you.
Dang.
Chat.
Yeah.
They said hit him with the hard criticism now that he's in the bath and he can't get away.
Yeah, they got their Proud Boy torches out now.
Yeah. Do you think that's gonna get us flagged? You saying Proud Boy?
Oh yeah.
We're done.
Julio, can you put a graphic over this that says "Love Me, chat"?
Love me chat. Yeah, let's do it. Hold on. Let me get something going. Text. What kind of font do you want?
Yeah. I already love you, so.
Helvetica bold.
Well, we're already in Helvetica medium. We use Helvetica new medium.
I won't move.
I mean, you're not like.
Can be. Is that the new euphemism for boner? Is Helvetica bold?
Helvetica bold.
I'm a little bold right now.
I think
I've got to write that down.
Probably every time we mention that word, we lose a viewer.
Yeah. Bold, yeah.
What else do
What
I
else?
have?
Yeah. What else you got?
I think you had mentioned towards the end of the episode, Dan, that there was a lyric that stood out to you. If you could,
Yes, it's so good.
what was that one?
I got it's. I think it's like I have a
I'm a flirt.
yeah, like a romance with your throw, or a relationship with your throw. It's a necromance.
That was my verse. That was the one
Really?
time I rapped.
No
Dude,
way.
that is the sickest
Is
line.
Is that true?
I love it.
Yeah, that's the only time I rapped. I did the chorus on Perp too. I was like, oh, what it do? But
There, it says, please love me chat on you now.
That's really cool. That makes me happy that like that specific lyric that stood out was actually Captain Daddy.
I know I wrote it down. I was like, Dan's gonna never believe this. That's the only rap I did on it.
That's really rad. Oh, we have another question for us from the chat.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
says, for the Scamps, how does a home recording artist justify spending on professional mixing and mastering? Also, how much does that actually cost?
Same question from me to you.
Okay, good question.
That is a good question.
Professional mastering actually does not cost that much
No.
if your recording is very consistent going in. So, as a recording artist who has gotten my stuff mastered, has not gotten my stuff mastered by somebody different, I totally think getting it mastered was worth it. And it didn't cost that much money. I think it cost me about $150. But it was a short release. It was a short release. If you have a longer release, and if it's like, and this is from someone reputable who's like been in some pretty major bands and has worked with some major artists. Now, it can be more depending on what it is. This might bring us to our next band, did everything analog. You know, if you want to master an analog 2-inch tape, that's expensive.
Yeah.
I would say mastering is only really, really necessary, like depending on how picky you are and how much you can live with shit and how good your music is. Dan, what do you think? This is a great question. This is a great question. Thank you.
I think mastering is really important, actually, and it really can put you into the ring competitively if you want to like make your music really kind of on the level with large artists.
I have noticed mastering. I've heard my music on a few different occasions in a public setting and have been like, this sounds tight. What is this? And people thought that I was like joking. Hey, here's Erin. Hi, Erin.
Hey.
We should, can you hear us?
Hey, Erin.
Yeah. Hi.
How are you?
Wonderful.
Welcome.
This is Erin from Hollywood Makeout for those who are watching.
Aaron, will you mute your mic and then hide your video? We're gonna wrap up with Captain Daddy, and then we'll do a quick chat, and then bring you on.
Okay. I have to take my face out. You don't even want to look at me?
Yeah.
Not yet.
Well, unless you want to just stand here while we ask Tom a bunch of questions. You don't have to. You could be
I don't
on.
mind. Yeah,
Okay.
no. I
Cool.
mean, I could just like sit here. No, I'll be in the video.
Hell
but I'll
yeah.
just
Okay.
get my-
Hell
Cool.
yeah.
Sweet.
Let me properly introduce you. Everybody, this is Erin Leno from
Hi.
Hollywood Makeout. This is a real treat. So just go
This
ahead
is a
and mute your mic a little bit, and then we'll get everything going.
I'll
Welcome.
mute my mic the whole way, not just a little bit.
Okay.
Shane asked what are your emo influences, and is
let's-
that to Tom or us?
Let me go. Let's go back to what we were talking about here. Mastering. What was the What was the topic at hand? Something happened that I
Oh,
lost
it's
us.
asking like how do you justify spending money on mastering when you're just home recording?
Oh, okay. I was saying twice it happened where I was somewhere publicly and I like noticed the music and I was like, oh, this is sick. And people thought I was joking. It was my own music. And it
Hmm.
sounded so good that I was like, how? And I noticed, I was like, wow, that mastering, like, it made it blend into like just the surroundings so well. And I
Hmm.
think that can really, really benefit. And this is perfect because we were actually just talking, Erin, about uh, how mastering is, and actually pop on the mic. You've mastered your own stuff. You're probably in favor of having someone master a record, like after the mixing
Hmm.
stage.
Not the same.
Say that again.
Not the same person. Like I wouldn't have somebody who mixed it also master it.
Yeah, agreed,
Yeah,
agreed.
that's a
And
that's kind of
what
an
we were
industry
saying was
standard.
that depending on like how even your recording is, and also your process. If you do tape, it's going to be much more expensive and much lengthy. If you do digital, it might be cheaper, but it could also be more expensive if your recording's really uneven. So I think it's great. What other question we got for Captain Daddy there, Dan? What was the next question?
Um, the artist
Thank
of
you, Aaron. Thanks for
Sean's
chiming
Room
in.
and Sean's Room 2 was just asking everyone in the chat, what are your emo influences?
Okay,
All
Captain
right.
Daddy, emo influences.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Let's hear your emo
Uh,
influences.
sure. Really into and you and I were chatting about this the other day, Julio. The was it the Kinsella Bros projects like Jonah? Well, I don't know if that's Jonas
Emo?
Mark would be.
It's emo.
They're emo,
It's emo.
American
It's
football and
not
shit.
third wave emo, but it's
Yeah,
emo.
but what was their that first thing there? That Captain Jazz album was like
That's emo.
go to. I listened to that on YouTube like every other
Yeah,
day.
schmap and schmaz.
Yeah, and I was like a bad emo listener coming up too. I was like really into Brand New and Taking Back Sunday, whatever everyone had on their MySpace profiles. I was
We had a
like,
big discussion about that kind of emo on the last show about
We
how
did.
we have different variations of how much we think that stuff is emo.
and then there's the classic copy pasta that made me. I started googling more emo shit based on that copy pasta. Like real emo comes out of DC.
Yo, yeah.
Midwest emo is what.
Yeah, like Rites of Spring and
Yeah, yeah.
Embrace.
I'm gonna pull up Skinny Dip and Scorpion image up here too. Boom.
Mm.
Yeah, let's get Skinny Dip and artwork
We got
together.
Aaron up. Let's get the artwork
Done by
up.
Nate Donovan, correct? I think Skinny Dip and Scorpion artwork was done by our friend Nate Donovan.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
Cool.
Hell yeah. All right, I gotta move that thing up. What else we got in the chat? Emo influences. Joan of Arc. You liked the kind of the emo that we didn't like. Everybody. Dan, your emo influences.
My influences are very similar in the way of, yeah, I really like Kinsella Brother stuff. Like American football is maybe my favorite band of all time. So
I used to like Juliana Theory a lot. They're one of my favorite emo bands.
yeah,
I liked Get Up Kids okay, but I saw Get Up Kids once with Weezer and they were so weird and Weezer was so cool, like playing hacky sack out in the yard, and Get Up Kids were like watching some movie from their bus and we all waved to them and they pulled the blinds down. Like nope.
we've covered an emo song once. We covered Jimmy Eat World.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, we did. I guess I like them too.
Yeah.
Aaron, do you like any emo music?
Not really.
Cool. Perfect.
No,
All
I
right.
don't.
Hey, Captain Daddy, do you have any other things you want to say about our take on your record?
I want you to know how relieved I was after I was so sweaty about it after listening to the other stuff and um getting like the first episode. I was like, oh my god. I'm excited to make more music for you to listen to, and it's gonna get weirder and weirder from here on out. So
That's awesome. I want to see you perform live
yeah.
or perform live streams or something when this stuff's all
I don't know how to do that.
over. Okay. You're not sure.
Yeah, I need a walkthrough.
Okay.
So we can talk about that later. I
Yeah,
wrote
we'll give
in
you the cheat
caps
codes
here
later.
on my notes sheet. Dan thinks I'm pretty.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost cried when you made that Frank Ocean comparison. I was like, don't you dare say that unless you mean it. So,
I do mean it.
oh,
Yeah,
One of us said
that's
it.
why I want Sean's Room to be like one album because I feel like it could have like a really sick like
and I
blonde vibe.
I can see myself doing a reissue and like maybe doing a small run of LPs on that, or like the vinyls with the front and back cover going.
Mm-hmm.
That's not totally out of my intention, so
Okay, sounds good.
there's hope.
Hey, chat. Any final questions for Captain Daddy before we let him finish his bath? I know we're on a bit of a delay, so we should give them a second to stand out. I can't figure out how long this delay is. I think it's like a 20 second.
It's not that long.
That's good. That's really
Yeah.
I'm covered in poppy seeds.
Yeah.
Are you eating bagels in the bathtub?
Yeah, he thought
Oh.
he thought. Oh, what is that? Is that a hot
It's
dog?
a poppy seed bun with your hot dog. Yeah.
What is on it?
One
Is
time,
that ketchup on
a
it? It looks like
waitress told
chocolate.
me to go. One time, the waitress told me to go pretzel bun because I'll never go back, and I haven't.
Dang.
I
Fancy.
That's the move. The pretzel
She's
bun.
a pretzel stand.
the first
Yeah.
time that I cut carbs was during the rise of the pretzel bun. It was a hard spring.
Why would you torture yourself like
I was
that?
trying to lose weight. It worked. It worked, but
At what cost?
I know.
Was it worth it, Julio?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, tight.
Probably.
Probably.
Well, what all dudes have to do is just stop drinking beer and pop, and they lose like 20 pounds.
It's true.
Ladies, it's a different story.
You have to
I
start
like
drinking
only
beer.
drink water, and I'm the same weight as I was when I was pregnant.
Erin, you'll appreciate this. I
Yeah.
ran out of LaCroix last week, and like I didn't go to the store to refill for like 2 days, and like I legit had like withdrawals. I was like struggling. I was like, if I had to choose between like LaCroix and like alcohol and drugs, like I was like, I would choose LaCroix 100%.
Yeah,
Like I would give up.
100%.
I
Damn.
was
Right here.
miserable.
What's your go-to flavors?
I'm a classic man. I like the lime, lemon,
I'm doing a
pamplemousse.
lime
I
right
like all
now,
that.
but
I love it.
I also love the limoncello and the hibiscus.
Yeah, watermelon's pretty good too. I like that. But I'm starting to get on those bubblies. You know,
Ooh.
those bubblies are pretty good, and then
They're a
some
little
of them have
spicy.
caffeine in them, so like it.
I only like the
They're
grapefruit
a little
bubbly.
spicy.
Yeah, I like it because I only have a few joys in life. And if one of the things is LaCroix, Cedric says we spend too much money on LaCroix, but I'm like, you know what? I have very few joys in life. I really would like to just drink something that has bubbles in it. And I think that's fine.
Is that too much to ask for? I don't think
Yeah.
so.
It's not like I'm buying heroin and stuff. I just want a LaCroix.
If you ever
That's
want to buy heroin, Captain Daddy could probably get you some. So
Okay.
Whoa!
That's okay.
you can't what? You can't get
Dang.
heroin?
I don't.
What? You
smoke
can't get heroin?
drugs. I smoke fools on the basketball court. If anyone.
Oh, let's go.
So, FYI, no heroin, only dunk.
Okay. Any final
And-
questions in the chat or any of you for Captain Daddy? Dan, do you have a question? Aaron, if you have a question for Captain Daddy, and then we're gonna kick him off, and we're gonna focus entirely on the next release.
We just have in the chat. We have CEO of Dizzy Bird Records saying came to see Erin, but excited to see, or excited to get the bonus of Daddy in the bathtub.
Yes.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Oh.
tuning in.
And I really
Cool.
appreciate you tuning in. Cole, thank you so much. And thanks for
Yeah.
talking in the chat. Everyone who talks in the chat is super cool in my book.
Check out Captain Daddy's Sean's Room and Sean's Room 2. It
And
is.
keep your eyes peeled for more.
Where can they listen to your music, Captain Daddy?
Bandcamp, Spotify. There's some weird one that's like big in Europe because I did the DistroKid thing. So all of those ones.
Oh yeah,
Anywhere you want.
cool.
Yeah. Thank you again for having me on and letting me say my piece. And maybe next time you won't interrupt my bath.
Yeah, that's our bad. Sorry.
That's okay. I woke up like this.
I mean, we know that you take like 8-hour baths, so it's kind of hard to schedule around.
That's not that far from the truth. Okay. Anyway, good to talk.
Nice talking with you. Hey, feel free to just if you want to just keep listening to this chat. You can just mute your mic, mute your video, and then we'll
Okay. Well, my water's getting cold, so I'm
just
gonna
disconnect. Just get out of here. Just get out of here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
You know what?
disconnect.
Actually, you should probably go.
Can you boot him? Actually, Dan, can we do that? Do we have
I'd love to get kicked out. Yeah.
kick him. Kick him.
All right.
Kick
Hold
him.
on.
Should I say something controversial first?
I think we did enough. We said penis
Yeah.
and Proud Boy a few times, so I don't.
Wait.
I think
man.
I think we're already banned. Yeah, I know.
I have to unclick the box that says report to Zoom.
Here's the thing
it
about
it auto reports. It just auto
Yeah.
reports his thing.
Yeah. Okay.
here's
See
the
ya. Just cut him off.
That worked a lot better. I think we're actually. I think that somehow his bathtub was making my internet worse. Hey, Erin,
Yeah, there's some weird interference.
Hey,
what's going on?
I got done with a workout, so I'm in my
Nice.
basement. It's my 750th workout. So we were celebrating today, me, Nicole, Megan, and we did a Zoom workout together. It was great. So I just got done with that.
I've
Went on
never
a
done
beautiful
7
walk
workouts.
with Katrina. Yeah. I saw Katrina this morning. Dan knows Katrina. You know Katrina, right? And I went on a walk with them at the farmer's market this morning on the beautiful sunshine. So I've had just a beautiful day so
Awesome.
far. And my baby is sleeping upstairs. She's taking a big long nap.
Aw.
Oof, my life is wonderful. I
All
almost
things
cried
considered.
this morning. I was like, I love going outside and being with my friends. It was crazy. I was just so happy. This is my life. I
Yeah.
just love.
That's
I
awesome.
just love it.
Well, congratulations.
No complaints at all.
I'm as soon as I get vaccinated, I'm gonna re-enter society. I've been hermited. It's been almost
Oh,
a
yeah.
year. It's been almost a year. I've been out of society. It'll be 1 week since a year of hermitude, and I'm basically at the point of scamming vaccinations. So
I think
we're almost there. I'm almost there. I'm not.
By May, they said by May, every adult is
I
going to
know.
be
I'm really looking forward to it.
available to get vaccines.
I'm looking
Cedric and
forward
I
to it.
are vaccinated.
I'd imagine that you would be. And that's awesome. You know, I'm like not jealous of anybody like on one level, but I'm totally jealous of people that are. You know, and I'm starting to feel a little bit like, okay, I had to leave society first, and I'm going to be required to re-enter last, and that's like kind of annoying. But I'm trying to get over it. I'm trying to handle
Yeah.
it.
It's
You
kind of
work
an emotional
at a restaurant
experience.
right now? Are you working at Harmony?
No,
Where are you working?
I'm not working at all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
if
I
you
haven't-
were working at, I feel like people at restaurants, they're getting vaccines
Yeah,
soon too, correct? They're in the next category.
I think they currently are in the current category, but like, where do I fall if I'm laid off because of working at a restaurant? Like, am I on that list? Is that like, I don't know.
The next group is 18 to 55-year-olds.
Okay.
That's group 2. I'm in 1B. There's 1A, 1B, 1C, and 2.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And so 2 is next. They're in 1C right now. And they're not going to like complete a group and then move on to the next. They'll just continue to work with that group, and it'll kind of bleed into the next group.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
So,
And yeah.
So if
did you sign up?
Yeah, I'm signed up. I can be patient,
too.
like, but you know what I mean. I'm starting to feel the pinch a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, if it makes you feel any better, Cedric works at the hospital, and I have cancer and work with children.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
why I got it.
yeah, like, you guys are
No,
high priority.
that's what I'm saying. No, I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm happy for you. I can be happy for you and jealous of you at the same time. You know, I can
I'm
totally.
just saying I didn't. What I'm
Yeah.
saying is I didn't deny my vaccine. There's people that
No,
are,
no,
which,
of course not. Of course
to
not.
each his own. If you don't want it, that's fine. But it came to me, and I didn't just go like, I don't want this. I took it.
Right.
So
No.
it wasn't like I just was like, I have the opportunity. I'm going to waste it away.
100%.
So
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
be crazy.
if you don't want to get the vaccine, anybody out there, that's also totally fine. It's up to you. But I chose to get the vaccine so that we can go back to normal,
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
because I want to see my friends
Yeah, we're gonna
without a
have
mask.
some cool parties. Cassie and I've been learning how to DJ. I know how to live stream now. I know how to do all sorts of
Yeah.
weird tech stuff. So I think we're all gonna be partying and rocking out nonstop when this is all over. Hopefully,
I'm having my daughter's first birthday party in August,
that's
so that'll be fun.
That's
So
crazy.
yeah.
Hopefully, I know she's gonna be 7 months on Monday.
She was
she's
just
a
born like
dream come
yesterday.
true.
That's crazy.
I know, she's just the most wonderful child you've ever met,
She really
and no
is.
one gets to meet her. Really,
I hate
some
it.
people do, but I know. I just want my friends to be around her because she's so fun and just beautiful. You guys would love her. She's just so chill. She's
I can't
just
wait.
like Cedric.
like-
She doesn't
I like babies, all right.
Yeah, she's chill. She doesn't, when she wants diaper change, she just goes, ah!
Just like Cedric.
That's it.
Just like
Yeah.
Cedric.
Just like when he bends over to pick something off the ground. Yeah, he and I are very lucky. She sleeps through the night. She's a wonderful child. She loves all food. Ugh, she's the
That's
best.
awesome.
Yeah. Anywho, are we talking about this album or COVID?
Let's do it.
So
Let's talk about it. This is going to be a little difficult because you're standing right here looking at me, but I can handle it.
So Erin, the kind of
you said some really harsh things.
Harsh? I said some really nice things. Let's start off with the bat. So I said a lot of things is what we said, and I started counting. I was curious. I was like, you know what? I get the feeling that they think that we are overwhelmingly negative. So I'm gonna start counting. And I'm going to count how many things we say about Hollywood Makeout as we start this podcast. And in 1 minute, I counted 21 things that we say about your band. And not one thing was negative. Now, I did start counting the negatives. We say 5 negative things about your record.
This is Bandscamps.
Now, how many positive things do we say? I think I stopped counting after a minute when I was like, okay, everything we say. So we I think are pretty clear about our stance on this record. Like I re-listened today. Dan said it was great.
I want to back up real quick because
sure, perfect.
Erin wasn't on the chat when we were talking about kind of like the questions we wanted to ask ourselves for this recap, and we kind of wanted to see like what did we get wrong, if anything, what did we get right. Did we get there? Because we've been asking about that for records, but
yeah, that's been a question of other bands,
podcasters and reviewers.
Did we get there reviewing it? So did the bands get there in what they were trying to do, and did we get there in our review and critique?
And then also, I kind of prefaced early on in the live stream that, I have a responsibility as like a podcaster and content creator to create interesting content. And it's not necessarily interesting to just give like overwhelming accolades to records that I really like a lot. So I felt like it was my responsibility to kind of like take the next step and like really kind of dig deep.
I think we did do that. So let's talk to that first thing. What did we get wrong about this record? Yeah. And I think Erin, like you can chime in here too. So I'm trying to think of some things that we got wrong. I think that we did not, there was some specific stuff that we liked that we didn't go in depth enough about. That's one thing. Like there was some songwriting things on here that I think I did not give enough credit to you about, Erin, and I think some of the actual sonic stuff that I did not, only because in my first 2 passes I was looking deeper but in a different way. So that's one thing that I know I got wrong. Dan, is there anything off the top of your head that you can think of?
I think for me, I was having a really hard time with finding the balance between like talking about individual songs and then talking about the album as a whole. Mm-hmm. I think that's a really tough balance, and I think personally, my feeling after reflecting on it was like I think I wanted to talk about the album a little broader, and then like you kind of wanted to slow down and talk about song by song, and I think I got a little roped into that a little bit.
Sure.
And I don't think I got a really good chance to talk about how the songs really relate to each other and like they're in context of each other.
I think you're right too.
In context of maybe their whole career.
Mm-hmm, totally. I think you're right. Let's see.
Let's hear what Erin thinks.
Yeah, go ahead. I actually gotta grab a charger. So give me just go ahead and talk. I'm gonna be right back. But it's like my phone died and I need to grab my notes in there. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what do you want me to say? Just like
what did you think that maybe some opinions we had, like, or what did you think that was maybe like missing from the review?
Well, I think if we are critiquing things, I guess I would say if I was critiquing your podcast, I would say that, which I know that you're open to, but one thing I think is I wouldn't go song by song like what you were saying, because it's just too arduous. Yeah. And then the second thing is, if you're going to go song by song, maybe make it quicker, a little quicker. Okay. Maybe do like some sort of like thing where you maybe have some, I don't know, some glows and grows type of thing. Like, here's the songs we thought were really great, and here's the reasons why we thought they were, and then here's some areas of like, I mean, I'm a teacher and I teach 5-year-olds, so this is how what I do.
For sure.
Like, just I mean, I do glows and grows at conferences, so that's just where my brain is. But I feel like going song by song is a little too much. But also, I think that you should have maybe like a rap sheet at the beginning that kind of goes through some of the things about the band. So one of the things that you got wrong was, I think you had said something about how the mastering and mixing was all by Tommy, but on our Bandcamp at the bottom, you can see it says it's mastered by Jim Diamond.
Perfect.
So that's something that like all you have to do is just Google it and then you'll find that. And then another thing was, you had said something about how you didn't know why we put it out at the time that we did, and kind of made some like sort of assumptions about certain songs or song titles. And we're close, Dan and I, and like, we're like super close. So
yeah,
I feel like if you had a question about any of that, there's no need to speculate. I could just tell you.
Why would is that? Do you think every listener is going to call you personally and ask you what your shit means? That doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry. Like, I could, like, from an objective standpoint, why would I ask you anything about your music except for what you presented to me to review?
We didn't have to ask me. You just Google it.
Okay. So that one we got wrong. So we're publicly Jim Diamond mastered and mixed it, or just mastered it?
No, Tommy mixed it at Goon Lagoon, and Jim Diamond mastered it, which is in the bottom of our Bandcamp page. But I'm not obviously, Julio. I didn't say every individual person should text me. I said Dan and I are very close, and you're making a podcast. Sure.
But why would I?
Who you've known for years.
But why would I ask you about? Why would I ask you? I didn't ask any other person about their music personally. What it was, we just listened to it, and then we did our best to report on it. Fortunately, we're here too to like correct it. Like, that's a mistake we made, but
well, exactly. That's what I just said.
Perfect.
Yeah. I think for me, like, it was, again, like a challenge to like try to find something to talk about that wasn't like, I think I want to, the preface is like, oh, I do know Erin, but like, I think maybe I was trying to say like, what if I didn't, obviously, if I do have like questions, obviously I'm just going to tell you like, hey, what does this mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, is this music just for those? Is this music just for those? Right.
Yeah,
it's super hard. It's super hard. And we're going to do that. Like, maybe we weren't clear about that, but like, we're going to review and critique your record. It's in depth, and like, I don't know. I just worry that
I'm not
like,
sure if it was a real critique though.
In what way were we not? We covered every single facet of your music. What did we overlook?
I just don't think that you fully stated things. I'm just going to say that at the beginning there was some thoughts, and then by the end it seemed to change. Like,
we talked about your album for like an hour. What did we not cover? We talked about the artwork. We talked about the concept, the lyrics. We talked about your songwriting.
I think it's more about
my overwhelming review was, I said it's pretty good. It doesn't blow me away. Do you think this was your best work? Was this your best work you've ever done?
You know what is so funny? I love your question. Cedric, before I got on, was like, Julio's going to do that. He's going to say, is this the best work you've ever done, Erin?
Is it?
And I was like, holy shit, he is going to say that. And guess what? You said it. That's great. Woo! I just love it. You're just trying to like make me upset, and it's not going to work. I just feel like...
It's a totally valid question. I don't think my last record was my best work. Like, do we all?
Yeah, well, it's not like
we all have to love your work. Is that are we like forced to love it? That doesn't make any sense. Like, I liked it. I liked it. I said it was pretty good. It's just not your best work. Like,
do you want me to answer the question?
Yeah, I do. I'd love for you to.
Okay, because you just keep interrupting me, just like you do Dan. So I just wanted to know if you actually wanted to listen to me. Okay, so I love our albums, and it's not for anybody else. So I don't care if you like it or not. It doesn't matter to me. That's not a big deal to me.
It sounds like I care a lot.
Wait a second, I was talking.
Sure.
So I just feel like, the sellability of my album and the stuff that you guys were talking about, our sound being sellable, I don't ever, Dan knows this and you know this, like me and Sed are in a relationship together, and Tim Warren and Tim Broderick are very good friends of ours. We make music together because we love each other and we love being with each other. And that's the only reason why we do it. We don't do it for anybody else. We just do it for us, and we really enjoy our songs. And the songs that we did were quite old at this point because, we went through a pandemic. I had cancer. I had a baby. So I didn't put this record out, and we've been sitting on this record for over a year now. So some of these songs are right off the heels of Speedo Spider. So they're all, some of them sound very similar to the last album because they were made at the same time. And so this, it's been a really crazy year for everybody. So we just had to put out an album after I kind of, got to the point where I could get my feet under myself and get something out and, get it on Dizzy Bird, which is the label that we're on with my best friend, Nicole. So, I think you had said something about how it was an odd time to put it out, but I was just trying to put it out because I know people are in quarantine and maybe they'll want something to listen to. And I needed something to be excited about and something joyful to do. So I don't mind if people don't like my music. That's totally fine to me. I didn't make it for anybody to like. I just make it because I love Cedric and I love Tim and we just make music together and it's fun. Band dynamics, I think you talked about the band dynamics and you weren't sure about like what kind of the band dynamics are. The band dynamics have always, at least in Tokyo Morose and in Hollywood Makeout and Ghost Heart, it's always been we love each other and we get along very well and we just like to be with each other. So that's why, that's the band dynamics. So I guess that would be what I'd clear up. And then BFFS stands for Beach Fossils Effing Song, because it sounds just like the beach.
Can you say that again? Can you say that again? It kind of glitched out when you said that. Sorry about that.
Of course.
It said Beach Fossils Effing Song. So that's what BFFS means. None of our songs.
I should have fucking known that. I'm so mad that I didn't put that together.
Yeah, but
stupid. All
the song names are just mean basically nothing. But yeah, and I mean the lyrics really don't mean anything. I know you guys have said you were like lyricists, and my lyrics, I think somebody had said, I don't think it was Julio had said that it might have something to do with what we had gone through, some of the sad lyrics, but my songs have never been happy. Like every album we've ever done, I've never made besides I think Space Jam.
I definitely speak to that point in the podcast. How far did you guys listen to the whole episode?
Yeah.
Okay. I kind of got the impression that you guys didn't for some reason, and maybe that's just me.
I listened to it.
I want to say I listened to it, and my answer. I mean, I edited the whole thing. Dan said it was great. I talked him down from great to good. I said it was pretty good. It's kind of more the same and not your best work, and that you're taking objection to that and then telling me that you don't care what people think about your music. I don't buy it. Like I think like you do care. You do care, and it's fine that I don't think it's perfect. Like, people don't have to love everything you put out, and they're not going to,
Yeah,
and
I agree.
And like, I can say what I thought I didn't like. I thought the vocals had some production stuff that kind of got in the way personally. I thought your singing was beautiful and amazing and some of your best singing work ever. I have some issues with maybe the guitar tone, and a little bit of like what the album sounds like, but we go into it at great length. So it bothers me that you guys were all sitting there and like, oh, he said some harsh things. Like, I don't think anything I said is untrue, personally.
Well, you said that we're becoming cartoon versions of ourselves.
I said I think that you're in danger of that happening. I think that if you're gonna listen to my words, I choose them so carefully and go over them so many times that you cannot like go into hyperbole. When I say you're in danger of it, I mean it. You're in danger of becoming a cartoon of yourself. Every artist is. And I also say, do I want you to sound the same? I have an internal battle in myself. Do I want Hollywood Makeout to even sound the same, or do I not? Like, that's a whole question, and like,
I guess you can ask yourself that question, but I don't really. I mean, you can ask yourself that question.
I can ask it about your I can do anything. You're asking me to do less. What you came on here to told me to make my podcast shorter. Don't look in depth. Don't ask the hard questions. Only praise you. And so like,
Well, I mean,
No,
the cool
I'm not
we,
going to.
we
I'm not going to do
asked
that. Go
we
ahead, Dan.
asked
Sorry.
that, you know, so
Yeah, we did. We asked all those
we
questions.
asked that. So I don't know. I think, you know, like as if we're gonna bring Erin on, we have to let her say, you know,
Definitely.
things
Oh no,
and,
no.
like,
Totally. That's why she was
I
right.
feel I just feel like
I
you're
interrupted
getting
her
a
and I
little
didn't mean
too
to.
defensive
Sure.
about our
Fair.
podcast, and it's really not about that. It's more about
It's just
letting the
like,
artist
but
speak.
that's like just what
I'm not
you're doing
defensive.
is,
I'm,
like,
I'm saying I don't believe you that you don't care about what people think about your music.
Yeah.
I don't believe that.
and I
don't believe
believe that you're doing this like real defensive thing as your shtick, and that's what
fine.
you're trying to
I
do.
told you. I've been very clear that I'm here to sell my personality. I don't know. I'm not like bamboozling.
Yeah.
I'm not bamboozling anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to live with your art. You know, straight up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good point. Yeah, you did say that our album is a burden that we'll have to carry.
Yeah, it's true though. Never create anything; it'll haunt you. You know, and you know what?
Yeah.
The reviews of your album have been overwhelmingly positive. It seems like, although you know what, only review you have right now is a little blip on Local Spins that says you exist. Besides us, so I would love to see other reviews. You know, unfortunately, no one talks about music as in depth as we are going to, and we're going to keep doing it. I think, Dan. I don't mean to be defensive, you know, when I come off that way, I'm just like, it's adrenaline. I know I'm a fucking diva. Like, I know that about myself. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not in
I think-
denial. I'm not in denial about myself, about what I do. I know what I do. I know that.
Yeah, and well, we also know that too. But I think like I don't know. I just feel like what we say is like there's no really reason for us like to defend it because you already know what you feel. So like I guess like
Right.
what's the point of you kind of saying that to Erin again when we're having her on here, you know? We're here to like have like an input about our podcast from a listener and an artist that reviewed.
Sure.
you know?
I don't think that what I just said was irrelevant to that discussion.
I'm not saying it's not irrelevant, but
You kind of just did.
I'm saying that you're kind of I don't know. I feel like you're really trying to justify what you're saying.
I am. I'm here to defend
But
my
that's
thoughts.
what
my well thought out and crafted thoughts. I am here to defend it. Yes. Just
But
I'm asking
is
Erin.
that the point of the recap?
Kind of. I mean, it's up to both of us.
I don't necessarily think that so. I thought like the recap was more just about like reflecting about like what about what we're doing, and it was only our second episode. We're
Sure.
still kind of fighting our sea legs.
That's the
a
beauty of
little
this whole
bit.
dynamic is that it's me and Dan. You know, there's two voices here.
Yeah.
So I think to portray Bandscamps as something that is just me is going to be wholly inauthentic. So it's as much you as it is me too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're totally right.
Yeah. So I want. So yeah, we asked Erin what she thought, and she told us what she thought, and like she's not saying what your thing is aren't true or anything necessarily. She's just kind of like speaking on her a reality, and that reality is just as much true as yours.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Sure. What else you got for us? What else did we get wrong?
We actually have some questions in the chat.
Let's do it. My phone actually just turned on.
So we
thank you, Erin.
just,
And I like Erin, like viewers. Erin and I have known each other for years and years, and Erin has trusted me with her work. She was our first guest on Grand Apsy, so thank you, Erin, for being on. And like I'm still working on my own communicative skills, man. I actually have a fucking degree in fucking communications, you know. So like I'm technically an expert, you know, and I'm not good at it in some people's opinion. But you know what? Some people fucking love it, and I'm here to sell myself as well as sell Dan.
exactly. Yeah.
So let's see. We got the chat. Thanks, Dan. Go ahead and
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's get it.
So in the chat, we just have a question from Nicole about asking about including song clips into the podcast, which I think didn't we just talk at great length again on episode 6 about that?
Yeah, we did, and we're a month ahead. Like, I think I'm gonna frame this as though like, should a restaurant review? Should you eat the food to enjoy the review, or should the show send the food to you to enjoy that? Also, this show is not a PR show. Hollywood Makeout's a pretty big band. Like, if you've been living under a rock, you don't know who they are. We're not here to spread the word on Hollywood Makeout. We're here to take a really, really, really in-depth look at their work. And I think that the sound clip thing has a lot of like trademarky kind of issues that I kind of am nervous about
If
getting.
you
too
just
much
give
into.
permission, if I gave you permission, you could play clip. I think if you're going to reference something and then play it on the show, that would help people understand.
Well, do they not have they can't look it up and listen? They should have. I feel like this show is kind of for like a deeper listener, and it's not for your casual listener. It's not for everybody. and maybe they need to do their homework just as we have. I listen to their album maybe 5 or 6 times. You know, should someone who's never heard it be up on my level trying to engage with my thoughts? Probably not. They don't deserve it. That's my opinion. Dan, what do you think?
I kind of think it as more of just like we're kind of just like a small production, and eventually, I don't think we like this on more on a technical level. We're a small production, and yeah, we're reviewing bands, and we can absolutely get permission. But if we want to expand, I feel like that will be a little more difficult for us, and I don't necessarily want to run into an issue later on down the road for us. And also, I do like um the format of like kind of like building kind of I don't know what to say, like a sense of mystery almost. It's almost like I'm trying to entice people to listen to the records necessarily. Um, and I feel
I
like
think
if
that would just like production wise, I think it would just add it and make it seem more professional
for sure.
Yeah. I mean,
if you
like,
wanted that.
Yeah.
sure. I mean, I think that like back at you, you know, like it's the kind of thing where like we could do that, and I think especially if it was TV or radio, you know, if it was like or this, if it was this, like I could play your songs on here, this would make sense. But because it's not a live thing, we're not on a schedule. We're just asking you to like, what do you think about this? You know, I don't know. Like, either does every YouTube music reviewer play clips from the song when they talk about it? I'm not sure. I don't watch a lot of music criticism. Like, does that big dude, does he play music or does he just talk about it?
He just talks about it.
He's like the biggest stream music critic in the world right now, right?
Yeah.
So I'll just take my cues from him.
But I think
is
like
what I might do.
yeah, but also I don't think he necessarily references specific songs like we do.
Yeah, I think that is a thing, and we're trying to learn about that. I don't
Yeah.
mind the specifics. I think we do go song by song, but probably for the last almost like half hour of it, it's not song by song. Like, I'm really starting to question whether y'all listen to the whole thing.
I mean, they did. Why would they lie about that?
I don't know.
Why would you why do you keep on saying that?
I don't
Like,
know. I don't.
I feel like
don't
that
know.
you're
I feel,
projecting. Like,
you know why? I feel like because we're talking about two different shows. I feel like that we talked so much and so in depth about it that like I'm not sure.
well, we're also talking with two different listeners too.
true.
You know, everyone experiences the podcast very differently. You know,
Hey, we're at our
than,
most
like, you do.
we're at our most viewers ever for this stuff right now.
Right.
So that's good.
So, Shane
do it.
Derby, the artist for Sean's Room and Sean's Room 2, says he loved Skinny Dippy and Scorpion.
And you loved it
in the
too, right?
chat.
You loved it. You said it
I
was
do.
great.
I think it's fantastic.
I said it's pretty good. Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that's positive. That sounds positive to me.
She's not saying we weren't positive.
She said we were harsh. What specifically?
Maybe we were.
What specifically was harsh, Erin? I'm wondering.
Oh.
I think we lost her. Chat's going fast. Oh, she's back. Can you hear us, Erin? I think your mic might be muted. I think your mic's muted, buddy. Dan, can you hear me? Can you say something, Dan? Just talk. Hold on a second. The audio cut out. I'm trying to get us back here real quick. Shit. Fuck. Check. Can you, Dan? Can you say something? Can you say something? Anybody? Can you guys talk into the mic? All right. I gotta reconnect. This is not. Everybody on the chat right now. Here, hold on a second. I got to reconnect. Sorry.